Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, episode number 3 of the series Become the Expert. Today I will show you different types of roads, when you should use a specific road instead of another. I will show you different layouts that you can use to build your city, and together we are going to expand 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 City using the different types of roads. Before we talk about all the different types of roads, I recommend you guys to download a specific mod. So let's open our Steam account, let's go to Community and then Workshop and select City Skylines. Once you're inside this page, click on Mod and then search for Network Extension. The mod I'm talking about is exactly this one right here. I'm already subscribed to it. If not, click on the green button that you will see here. This mod is very useful because it extends the network, providing you with more roads to use. If you go down here, you can see everything that this mod contains, and as you can see, there are different type of roads which we will use when we build the city. So once you download the mod, remember to activate it, and then let's go back to the city. I'm gonna show you now the different types of roads that I use to build 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 City, and I will explain you why. So the first thing you need to know is that the moment you create an intersection like that, you need to connect the intersection to the city. In order to do that, I usually use this road, which is the 6-lane road. This is actually the perfect one in this kind of situations because the highway is usually 3-lane road. So as you can see, there are 3 lanes here going down here, and there are 3 lanes here going up. So if you connect a road like that, the 3 lanes will be connected to the 3 lanes here and vice versa. So the 3 lanes here will be connected to this one here. This is the best way to do it. The difference between this kind of road and this one, although they have the same lanes, is just about speed. So here cars of course can go much faster, and here they can go slower. This is usually a 6-lane road, and it's called arterial road. They connect usually highway to the city, but you can also use them to connect different parts of the city, especially if the distance is pretty long. So for example, in 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 City, all these roads here are the 6-lane roads because they connect different parts of the cities, and they actually are pretty long. If you want to create like a small section in the city, then you can create a 4-lane road. So let me create some road here so it's actually easier to understand. So as we said before, we have the highway. This is usually a 3-lane road. You can also build the 4-lane highway, which is pretty much the same, it just has 1 more lane. Then we have the 6-lane roads. This is one way, sorry, my mistake. This one here. So this is the 6-lane roads. So as you can see, there are 6 lanes, and this is the arterial road. Then we have the 4-lane roads, which is called also collector. And then we have the 2-lane roads, which is usually a local road. There is a rule actually that you need to follow in order to avoid a jam, traffic and congestion, which is that the 2-lane roads, this one here, can only be connected to the 4-lane road. This one here can only be connected to this one here, which is the 6-lane roads, or as we said before, the 2-lane roads. And then this one here can be connected to the highway here. Alright, so keep in mind this rule because we are gonna use it, and I actually used it to build 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 City. Before we expand the city, as we said before, let me show you different types of layouts that you can use to build the city. So let's start with the first one, which is the squarish layout, or the symmetric layout. So usually what I do, I start with the 6-lane roads, as we said before. So there is an intersection, for example here, the highway intersection, and then we take a 6-lane roads and we go, for example, here where we want to expand the city. So let's say that in this case we do a squarish layout, so all the lines are like this, straight. Right, so the first thing to do is create the 6-lane roads, and for example let's use the 4-lane roads here, and we can create 4 section. So 50 for example, which is about here, and we go 90 degrees angle, and we go for example 50 here. Then we do the same up here, so 50, and we go down here 50 as well. Then we go up there 50, 50 here, and then let's leave it like that. Now remember guys, as we said before, there is one rule. So the 6-lane roads can be only connected to the 4-lane roads, as we did in this case. And now if you want to create a mini section of the city right here, the only thing we can use is the 2-lane roads, or anyway we can continue with the 4-lane roads. In this case, just for the purpose of the video, I want to use the 2-lane roads. So we did 50 here, so maybe we can do I don't know, 12 for example. So you go here to 12 and you create, I don't know, let's say 20, or maybe let's just do 12 here as well. And then we go up here, for example, like that, and then 12 here, and then 12 here, right? You can also continue on the other side, so you can do just 12, and you go down here. All right, like that. You probably see this kind of structure, this kind of layout many times in the cities. This is very easy, because what you need just to remember is that you need to create 90 degrees angle every time there is an intersection. And remember, as we said before, we have the 6 lanes connected to the 4 lanes that then connects to the 2 lanes. This is very easy to create, and this will avoid a lot of traffic, because there are a lot of cars and trucks in this road. And then of course this is a small section of the city, so there will be less cars using these roads, and even less than using this here. Now what I usually do, for example, you cannot create a lot of 2-lane roads here, but you need to support the layout creating other 4-lane roads. So you can, for example, continue with this one here, and you can do just something like that. For example, you know, you continue here, then you go up there, and then here you create more 2-lane roads, and you continue the layout like that. The second layout that I'm going to show you is a more like kind of creative layout. So there is no rules. You can use this tool here, so the freeform road. And what I like to do in this case is creating just, you know, random like layout. It can be like that. So you do something like that, like that. Try to, of course, give some natural form, and you know, which can be, you know, something like that, for example. So we created this is 6-lane roads. Let's go now down using the 4-lane roads. So for the 4-lane roads, you can do something similar, which is gonna be internal. So something like that. You can connect this to try to use a 90 degrees angles, or any way close to it, because then the intersection here that it will form will be pretty much good for both directions. And we can also do the same kind of things here, so creating something like that. All right, and then once you create this kind of layout here, we go again down using the 4-lane roads, and we can only use this 4-lane roads to connect the 2-lane roads. So using the same sort of layout, so we can go up here, something like that, go up, something like that. remember, of course, do not create roads very close to the where the two roads cross, because otherwise there will be some congestion, some traffic. Just create it here, here, it's fine. So something like that. You can also actually use, you know, you can cross the streets here, doesn't matter, they're fine. Something like that. You can continue like that. All right, and then you can create a lot of nice shapes and nice layouts using this technique. It's easy to create because it doesn't take a lot of time. You don't need to be careful about angles and about the way you create the roads, but remember, always the same rule. So connect the roads only if you can do it. The third layout that I'm going to show you is a bit of a mix between the first layout that I show you, so the symmetric one, the geometric one, and the second layout, which is more like a creative layout without any rules. So let's start with the 6-lane roads, and let's create something right like that, which at the end is what the the real cities actually do. So they have pretty much this layout that I'm gonna show you now. So we have the 6-lane roads. We now create the 2-lane roads. So now instead of creating 90 degrees, we can actually go something like that, and then this can actually continue here. Then here we have something, for example, like that, right? Something like this. And then we go down to use the 2-lane roads, and here we can connect, for example, this one like this, for example. Okay, so this is, in my opinion, very ugly to see. But anyway, you search on Google Maps and you see the way the layout looks like is like that in many cities, real cities. This works even in city skylines. I really don't like it because I like more, for example, like in this case, very like symmetrics or geometric shapes, or anyway, like I showed you before, even creative one. And this is the other case of, for example, 𝗁𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗃, the other city that I've created. I actually will leave the link in the description so you can have a look at that. There is a time lapse, so I will show you exactly how I created that city over there. Now let's expand the city. So the first thing I do is creating the intersection. I will use a time lapse so you don't get bored. So I create the intersection. I use the 6-lane roads to connect the intersection to the city. I connect the 6-lane roads to the intersection, and then I proceed with the upper part of the city. Now, I usually use this kind of road because it's easier to make the layout, and after that I will update it using the correct road. So here I prefer to use this kind of layout, which is similar to the rest of the city that you can see in down there, Deep Turtle City. Actually, the shape of this one looks more like a bear, so I will call it the section of the city Deep Bear City, probably. I create more connection here, so I use both circular and geometric shapes. I noticed that there can be an issue here when it comes to traffic, so I prefer to create a mini intersection here, which will avoid jam, congestion and traffic. The next step is to update all the roads. So in this case, I will use a 6-lane road to connect this section, so the intersection and this first part of the city. I will also use the 6-lane roads for the circular, for the exactly this one here. And then I will use the 4-lane roads for this section of the city with the ears of the bear. And here is the result, guys. This section of the city looks pretty amazing, guys. What do you think about that? We're done with today, so thank you very much for watching, and please remember that I'm gonna post other videos in the following days, so click on the right button, subscribe to my channel, so you can actually watch more and more episodes that I will release in the following days. Thank you very much again, and bye!